It's time to start loving you long time, and there's no better place to be than LYLT Radio, that is. It's Ace and Dirty Disciple from Noize Cartel Records, live from San Diego, California, supporting the best in independent music and bringing the music back to the music industry. Find out what's hot in independent music. Check out some original music and remixes. Meet some guests on the show, and let's have some fun. Here's your hosts, Ace Carino and Dirty Disciple.
What's going on? All right, we are back. It is LYLT Radio. This is Dirty Disciple with you solo today. First up, I just want to say happy birthday to Preston Disciple, which is the littlest disciple, and it's his birthday today. So he's in Australia, and he's going to be eating a lot of cake. So lots of stuff going down at the moment. We have been very, very busy. We missed last week's show because everyone was busy producing music and tackling deadlines. So we made it on this one, and we've actually got a guest on the show today who's a Noize Cartel Records artist by the name of SNKNGL. Are you there, SNKNGL? Can you hear me?
Oh, SNKNGL in. How's it going?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Very good.
Coming
Thanks.
to you from Los Angeles. First time on the show, so it was pretty cool.
That's right. And you've been signed with us for a little while now, and you've been in the works, getting some music produced, and we're gonna play some on the show later here, which is gonna be your first release with us, right?
That's correct. Quality takes time, and I've just been working at it and trying to make sure what I put out is golden.
It is golden. So I don't know if anyone in San Diego went to the Tonight in San Diego show and knows about that, but there's a link on the Noize Cartel Records Facebook page where you can find out how bouncy the Tonight in San Diego show's guest couch is, because Noize Cartel Records artist Digital Lizards of Doom was their musical guest the other week, and he caused a big scene by bouncing on the couch, but it was funny. So go and share that video, support him, get the funniness out there. And we've also got your last chance to win a trip to Vegas, thanks to Noize Cartel Records. So that will be drawn on start of next month, or the start of September, sorry. And the last chance to be able to get your name in the draw is to buy tickets to the Eternal Music Festival, which will be up. I'll put a link up on the LYLT Radio Facebook page where you can buy them, and we'll have a place to buy tickets off of there as well, like a tab. So you can go in there, get your tickets for the Eternal Music Festival. There's some of our artists there. I'll be there. There's Digital Lizards of Doom. Couple of surprises too. We've got ArKay playing there, and also Lee the Fourth. And I think Darklord GOB's playing, and prettyhowtown, of course. We got Terry James, all those guys who we work with on the sidelines as well. So make sure you get down there and check it out. It's a very affordable festival too. I think tickets right now are like $30 or something like that. So make sure you get in there. And the winner of the contest, if you buy your tickets online and go to the event, is actually going to be able to take a friend, because we're going to send a friend with them. So that's 2 nights accommodation in Las Vegas with $500 worth of playing chips and 2-for-1 airfare. So your friend goes free. So check it out.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is a pretty good deal, right? All you have to do is go to a show. So speaking of shows, Snake Angel, you've been doing a bit up in LA, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been personally working on my other alias, which is actually my own name, Andrew Charles, which is more of a techno project. As Snake Angel, I've just been working in the studio and trying to work on my next EP and get this first single out.
So how long did it take you to? This is your first single on the market ever?
Yes, it is. I released my debut album. It was just on Bandcamp. I didn't really know what I was doing. This was before I met you and Individual Lizards of Doom. So I tried to do it on my own, and it was a pretty big learning experience. It was an interesting set of songs, but it seemed like every song was a different genre, which I thought reflected my eclectical taste. However, there was no one group of people that were too excited to listen to the whole thing. So
what is your genre? Do you have a genre?
I mean, it's really just electronic, whatever that is. I mean, there's so many great people that are listed under electronica, like Caribou, for example. It's not necessarily, house or dubstep or techno. It's more futuristic beats, but instrumental form, and with some vocals, but it's mostly it's just music. I mean, when you get too wrapped up in genres, it's kind of confusing. But electronic is a perfectly fine example.
I agree. So you're not one of those people who think EDM is a genre of music?
No. EDM to me just means, blanket term for mainstream media.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there in the title. It says electronic dance music.
Right,
So
which could mean practically.
That's right. You make it electronically and you can dance to it. It's classed under EDM. So do you have a favorite style or anything you like to produce?
I think that I go between house and techno, and also more ethereal stuff like psycho or people who are pushing the boundaries of what a beat can mean and getting people to move, but without a solid 4 on the floor beat in the background. You know what I mean?
So are you do you use samples or do you produce via MIDI or sounds or VSTs?
Well, I definitely use samples in a way. What I do is I find a sample that I want to use, and then I replay it either through an analog keyboard or through a VST or a soft synth, and then I run it through a ton of processing, and I get it to what I really want it to sound like.
Awesome.
But I don't just use a sample straight off, because I get scared, because sometimes, well, when I used to do it, I'd be really hyped about a track and I'd be playing it for everybody, and then we'd go to a show or something, and then I'd hear the same sample from some other guy's track from some other place, and I don't know, that I really don't like that.
The price of samples seems to have turned into gold lately. These samples that They're like up near $50 for a sample pack these days. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of insane. I mean, just the sheer usage across the board from people. You know, there's plenty of producers out there, and everyone's using the same samples. So, you know, and this has been going on forever. You know, since the dawn of house music. I mean, people have taken the same sample that a hit record had and remixed it to their own beat, but nowadays it's even more ubiquitous. It's like you can hear the same sample all over the place. You
Yep.
know,
I mean,
uh,
that's where the industry is at the moment. I think it's lacking a lot of creativity and it's lacking a lot of music. It's just bullshit.
yeah, mostly. Yeah, I mean, the one that sticks out in my head is I heard one of my main samples in a Duke Dumont song while he was playing, and I was just like, wow, this is, you know, how am I supposed to get my song listened to if his song's already really popular? You know,
That's right. Yeah, and then they're gonna think you copied him.
exactly, exactly. So I try to stay away from sampling unless I'm replaying it myself. And, you know, it's so much easier to just create your own samples. You know, all it takes is a mic. Sometimes I just, you know, have my iPhone on me and I do a voice memo and I just record, you know, something when I'm out. Um, like in a lot of songs that I've been producing lately, I've been using the bird song from my neighborhood. And you know, you throw a filter and some reverb on that, and it sounds pretty cool in the background. It's a nice texture, and that's just from an iPhone. You know, I mean, our technology these days is so good and so easy. It just doesn't make sense not to record your own samples. You know, I bought a pair of drumsticks, even though I don't own drums, and you know, I just went around my house and just anything that made had like had kind of cool ring to it or a nice thump, and I just recorded it and started using that as my own personal sample.
Awesome. That's how you get unique sounds too.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you do some processing and you know, slow them down, pitch them up, or change them in some way, and get creative with what the output of the sound is going to be like.
So are
You know,
you
especially yeah. Go ahead.
are you musically trained?
Not classically, no. I've been making beats, you know, in my room. I started with Fruity Loops when I was 14, and you know, it's been about 14 years. So at this point, I've gone through, you know, online music theory classes. I've gone through, you know, hundreds of shows and just listening and learning. And, you know, I've had a couple mentorships where people have shown me um, how to play songs, how to listen and figure out keys, and to, you know, how keys go together and chords and all that kind of thing. So
So
it's just been through personal research.
you learned it yourself and understood it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really long way around. I'm sure if I had just, you know, taken the time to take a serious piano course, or you know, even the violin or something, I could have been a lot further by now. But I kind of like knowing that my style is unique and I don't have anything built in to copy, you know? Like there's no melodies that I know for a fact are someone else's. I don't know classical melodies that I'm replaying, you know, just subconsciously. And I think that that creates kind of my sound at this point.
Awesome.
Yeah, it
So
seems a little backwards, but
can you play any instruments?
I mean, I can play the piano fairly well. I can play my own songs back. You know, I can drum on time, but um, you know, I'm really good at messing around with analog synths and creating noises and doing sound design. I mean, that's really what I enjoy the most and I'm good at. And when I play live, I generally am you know, playing the keys or um, the main melodies of my tracks.
Yeah, you actually did a show with us a little while ago. You're one of the few in the states that has met Mr. Electro Mafia.
Oh yeah, that was a really cool show.
So you came down from LA, downtown San Diego, to play this little show that we did down there, and you had a pretty good setup, and your set was cool. What were you using there?
Yeah, that I have. I had an Ableton Push, and I also had a Pioneer DDJ, and I was using the pads on the DDJ to cue my samples that I've taken from this like other tracks. I was also playing my own tracks and then remixing them live while I was playing the melodies on my push.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounded really good.
Yeah, it was an interesting show.
What have you been doing up in LA? Because you were doing quite a few shows, and now you're doing some other parties too, right?
Yeah, I've been helping out with a group called Dirty Epic. They're a techno group based out of Los Angeles, Long Beach, Denver, and some really great shows, really great undergrounds. Our last show was with Audio Injection, who's also known as Truncate, and Kyle Geiger, who is just one of the most amazing DJs I've seen recently. And you know, it was a good turnout, 300-400 people, and good vibes all around.
That's pretty good. I'll ask you some more questions. We're gonna go to a song right now, and when we get back, we'll maybe get into a little bit about what you think about the industry at the moment.
Sounds good.
So this one right here is from Noize Cartel Records artist Viper. It's called All the King's Men off his recent released EP called Venom. So be sure to check that out. That one was featured on Beatport and also charted. So make sure to get into it. I think this song's awesome. So go and buy it. And we're back. That right there was Viper, All the King's Men. That track is off the chain. I gotta say, I really like it.
It's pretty neat.
So, a little bit about the industry. You've been in the industry for a little while, correct?
Yeah, I've been DJing for about 6 years, 7 years now.
And all just in LA, or have you been elsewhere?
No, I started DJing in Arizona actually.
Arizona. They do DJs out there?
Yeah, they actually have a pretty decent scene in Arizona. It's not that bad.
It's probably better than San Diego.
Yeah, I mean it's comparable to San Diego, I'd say. They do there was a group called Rebel Disco out there who brought some really quality acts out. Restless Beats also does some really deep stuff, and they bring some great people out. So it's not that bad. There's only 3 or 4 places that you can actually play at, and a warehouse maybe happens once a blue moon, but it's a cool place. It's just there's not a lot of musical talent born there per se.
What about country singers?
I'd have no idea about that really. I think that there's probably plenty of country. There's probably plenty of electronic producers I've never heard of either. I know that like DJ Z Trips from out there. It's not like there's no one out there. It's just when you have the sheer influx of people from all around the world coming to Los Angeles, you have hundreds of people that are doing it and doing it well, and you can see them at any point of any week, pretty much.
Nice. So how do you find the scene in LA?
In LA, it's kind of like going to it's kind of like going to one show for someone that you do like. I mean, when I first started in LA, I went to a show with the Juan McLean at this one place in Hollywood, and I met some people, and we became friends on Facebook or whatever, and then they told me about the next thing, and then I just kept building from there. The underground shows and stuff where the really good stuff is at, I mean, you kind of have to know someone to tell you about it, because where they advertise is usually at other undergrounds, so it's kind of hard to necessarily find the good stuff right away. It's not that accessible, but it's fine. It's pretty easily found.
Awesome. And did it take you very long to break into the market there?
In Los Angeles?
Yeah.
I'd say, I mean, I essentially had to throw my own show. I threw a show with my partner, Max Malenga, we had a group called Boom with 3 O's. And we threw a show at the House of Blues with Tone of Arc and a local group called Feels, who are doing some great house and techno shows. And then also a local named House and Swing, who's now doing a project called Dig Deeper with her friend Masha, and they're doing some great stuff too. I mean, this was kind of right when I was moving back to LA, and after I threw that show, I kind of had more connections, to be able to meet people. And it was, I wouldn't say it was a colossal failure. I had a couple hundred people come, and it was good times. I ended up losing money on it, and I mean, the money I lost, I gained in friendships and connections. And I met some people in Hollywood that gave me a shot at Clinic Wednesdays at Couture in Hollywood. And so, from there, I've just been kind of building my name and my scene, and just being a helpful part of it.
Do you love doing what you do?
Yeah, I mean, every second of it. It's I mean, music is like breathing to me. If I didn't hear a song for a whole day, if I didn't hear something that I really loved, or if I wasn't really feeling one particular song that I had to listen to, I'd feel out of breath. I'd feel like I was starting to die a bit.
Yeah, I'm the same. I get all like antsy and don't know what to do if I'm not like playing music or doing something in like in the business here.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's
I mean, I kind of get it from my parents. Both of them, um, love music. They love all kinds of different styles of music, and we've always had music, in the car on road trips. When I remember when I was a kid, we'd listen to like the Bee Gees and then Tupac and then R&B like back to back. So it's kind of just been my whole life has been listening to music and eventually playing it too.
awesome. So where do you want to take your career?
All the way to the Super Bowl, man. That's supposed to go. There's nowhere but up. I don't think. I don't ever want to put myself in a box and say, oh, I just want to do underground shows forever. I just want to play, some clubs one day. Like, I want to do a European tour. I want to have a song that reaches people in places that I could never visited myself.
Yeah, we'll be getting you to Australia. Don't you worry about that.
Can't wait for that one.
So, I just want to, speaking of international, while we're on that subject right now, we have a new artist who's joined us at Noize Cartel Records. They go by Double Impact. Read a little bit about them. Double Impact has taken the electronic music world by storm, developing a reputation that could only be described as a true euphoria-generating machine. The Swiss DJ-producer duo developed their unique sound inspired from elements of deep house and tech house while blending their own fusion of electro and progressive flavors. Double Impact's quality of production could only be derived through extensive industry experience acquired from the Ministry of Sound Academy and performing with some of the industry's finest. Passionate about the live element of performance, Double Impact holds nothing back and always delivers a lively show. The excitement derived from witnessing Double Impact live has landed the duo's shows at some of Switzerland's top events, clubs, and festivals, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce any of those. And the live shows received so much hype that they caught the attention of legendary international superstars such as Calvin Harris, DJ Task Horizon, DJ Tatana, Adrian Bujupi, and Sean Kingston, all of who they had the pleasure to share the stage with. So Double Impact's creativity and constant search for innovative sounds led them to success with their single titled Truth, which reached number 4 in the Swiss dance charts, then followed that with a single titled Collider, which took the number 2 spot on the charts in 2014. They set their focus internationally after their single with Tori Adams titled Sugar Pixie made the top 10% out of 18,000 nominations in the 2014 ISC, which is the International Songwriting Competition. The duo's international exposure led them to collaborations with Grammy winner Judge Earl Holder, Golden Platinum record producer Jerry Rapero, and Jed Rex, as well as completed remixes with the likes of Tritonal and Paris Blom. So Double Impact is regarded as one of the most respected acts in electronic music, with their objective to deliver music that is memorable, instinctive, revolutionary, and inspired from their inner state, while always keeping true to their roots, and most importantly, create a feeling of enjoyment in their listeners worldwide. So these guys, it's a duo. They've been in the industry for a while. They're awesome producers. What did you think when you heard their first track they put up in our group the other day, Snake Angel?
Yeah, I listened to it. I liked it. I think it's got a solid groove to it, and it has just enough personality in it to understand that it's different. It's not just a house track. It's not just like, it doesn't just sound like a sampled beat or anything. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you'll be pretty surprised when he puts his stuff out, because that's it. A lot of it's pretty creative. We'll say that much. It's all different. It's nothing's like exactly the same. Like they really have used elements from all sorts of different things. which is
Yeah, I'm actually uploading my stems for geography for them as we speak.
Oh, they're gonna remix yours.
They said it was cool and they want to do it. So
That's awesome. I thought you were remixing that one.
no. I was more interested in them doing more of a housey remix
Sweet.
of geography.
Oh, that's good. Because these guys are actually based out of Switzerland, so you can get yourself over there. Get a
Definitely. I mean, the
song.
European market's where it's at if you want to do electronic music, especially dance music. That's got more of a real tinge to it.
That's it, and you can go and get a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna break to another song right here. Then we'll come back. This is Tesh Pankanya. Song is called "The Long Road." So he's had this on the market for a while. Go and check it out. It's pretty good stuff. He's actually got a new EP that he's been working on. He's been making it during his commute to work every day. Instead of sitting on a shitty train, he produces music on a shitty train. So
Pretty crazy idea.
Yeah.
I always thought about that, but it's so hard to make it on a train. So kudos to that guy.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know, but hey, he's doing it. So
Yeah.
this right here is The Long Road. So that right there was Tesh Pankanya Long Road. He's one of the Noize Cartel Records artists out of Melbourne, Australia.
What was his name?
Tesh. That's Tesh.
Oh yeah, that's Tesh. Yeah, it's a good song there. I never heard that.
He's very good with his sound quality and his mix downs. He's like I don't know. He knows what's up when he's mixing down.
Yeah, it's an interesting, pretty lights kind of feel.
So tell us a little bit about your song you got coming out, Geography.
Yeah, so the title's Geography. I was kind of going for an avant-garde kind of Daft Punk vibe with the lyrics just saying geography kind of repeated throughout the song. It kind of came about organically. I was just making the song, and I had I tweaked with this one like sample a little bit too hard, and it started sounding like it was saying geography. Originally, the reason why I even made it was because I was making my May mix, because I do a mix on SNKNGL SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/SNKNGL written out. And for my May mix, I ran into some trouble because SoundCloud bounces your mixes now if they have someone else's copyrighted track at the beginning. So I kind of figured out that if I make my own track and I make that as an intro, that I can kind of get around it. So don't tell anybody, but I basically just made geography in about 30 minutes, and it just it was just supposed to be for that mix, and I didn't really expect it to go anywhere. But the more I listened to the mix, the more I was like, man, I better work on this track. It was at the time it was only like a minute and a half. So I just really I spent about a month on it, and added more layers, took some more stuff out. I tried working with a singer actually to get vocals on it, but that didn't really quite work out the way that I had planned it, because the synths were taking over a bit too much. And I had my good friend Joe Huntermark replay some of the guitar parts for me, and once that happened, it was a fully alive thing.
That's great. So
it's really special.
How long did it
It's
end up
just a
taking you
special
making?
track.
How long did
What'd you say?
How long did it end up taking you to finish?
Well, I just got the bastards back on yesterday, and I started around the beginning of May, so about 2.5 months. Working on one track. It's been it's kind of a new thing for me.
That's not too bad. I was doing
It's
one.
not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And it was that full time, or is it just like when you had time?
Yeah, it was mostly when I had time. I've gotten pretty good at managing my music time. I do at least an hour a day, but sometimes I get to do 4 or 5, 6 hours on music, and I made other tracks in the meantime, and I pulled some ideas from the new tracks that I made, because it kind of gets stale if you do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's right. I think so too.
Yeah, it's just so monotonous. You starting to hate it.
Are there any
But,
any tips or tricks you can give people that you applied to your production of geography that maybe you think people should know?
Well, I mean, just thinking about it, just right off the bat, my friend Joe, who did the guitars, he said he learned, he was actually doing, he taught Juliette Lewis how to play the guitar for the new Quentin Tarantino movie, The Hateful Eight.
Okay.
And he learned while they were mixing down and doing a bunch of stuff to just put like an auto filter on everything. Like or an EQ or something on absolutely everything, and taking out all of the frequencies that you don't need, you know. I mean, just right off the bat, that really clarified everything in my track, you know, and it really let me put on which sounds needed to be in it and which sounds didn't need to be in it at all, you know. You find out that a track or a sound in your song is only registering, you know, between 400 hertz and 1000 hertz, and it's right in this weird muddy area, you know, it's just, there's just no reason for it, so you just take it out. And you know, when it came down to it, it was you know, I had about 50 separate audio tracks on it, and I got it down to about 27. So you know, subtracting was really the crucial part of it, and focusing on what really matters and taking a lot of the BS out.
I've seen, yeah, that's actually a good thing that you brought up too, because EQing is very important in producing a final product that's got a clean sound with no frequency clashing or dropping out. I do that with my tracks, and people who I coached who are new in the industry or new producers who I EQ savvy and better top of it and drop and like in the end take go little control. It gives you a lot.
Def- there has to of some of the artists and there's in different parts that out or creep out, you know, so it's crucial to make sure that they're not clashing with any other parts in their frequency range, and you can, you know, you can hear, you know, kind of the waviness or the, you know, the static or a little bit of glitchiness that gives it texture. But if it was competing with a whole bunch of other frequencies, then there would be just a big muddy mess, you know.
Yep, that's it. So that's actually a good thing you brought that up. So thank you. It's pretty important. So how can people find you? Like, if do you have any shows coming up?
Not at the moment. I'm just trying to get the single out and also produce the rest of the record. You know, I've got about 5 or 6 tracks that I could possibly call an EP or maybe even develop into an LP. I'm also in talks with some people at Morehouse Records and some for Andrew Charles, and I've got a bunch of stuff going on, you know. So the next time I play live might be for a minute, but if, you know, if something comes about, it'll definitely be on my SoundCloud page or my Facebook page.
So do you want to share those links with us?
Yeah, my SoundCloud page is soundcloud.com/SNKNGL, and that's actually spelled out. It's SNAKE Angel, ANGEL. And then my Facebook page is facebook.com/SNKNGL as well, spelled out. Wait, sorry, that's not right.
And how can people contact you if they want to book you?
If they want to book me, would probably be to call you, and
No, you book yourself. I'll book you for a
yeah.
wedding.
Yeah, no, to book me would definitely be from snakeangelisadragon@gmail.com, or my phone number, which would be 480-229-3295.
Or you can hit us up and we'll put you on to them too. We're not gonna like be shady about it.
Yeah, I mean, the information's out there. I'm the only Snake Angel that I know of in music. So if you type in Snake Angel without vowels into Google, you're probably going to get plenty of Snake Angel and plenty of ways to contact me.
So what's this other stuff that you're doing with Andrew Charles?
Andrew Charles is, I wanted to keep that as quote unquote real as possible. It's going to take quite a long time to really develop everything that I want to with Andrew Charles. What I would really like to do is, to only DJ on vinyl. And when I play my own stuff live, I'd like to have, no computers involved, just be completely analog. And I'd like my albums to be analog with real studio sound, and kind of doing not exactly basics but fundamental techno and house.
So did you start your career on vinyls, turntables?
No, I mean, I started my career on virtual DJ. I mean, I had to graduate from being, just another kid with some programs who thinks he's a DJ to being a kid with some CDJs who thinks he's a DJ.
And then you just worked your way into the vinyl area?
Yeah, pretty much. I've always had a turntable for as long as I can remember. I've always had vinyls. I've always played vinyls, but I've never, got two and mixed them together. It's such a great art, and I think to respect it, you've got to practice and do it for real.
I agree. And I'm a big advocate of starting out the proper way when you do things, so long as you can. You went the other way, but you still went to the proper way to get
Right.
to work
I mean,
it out.
everyone's journey is different, but
yeah,
it's
it's a big skill to have, though. Especially these days, I think that's dying out. That you can put a set of turntables in front of a kid and or a club DJ, and they would just not know what the hell to do.
I mean, yeah, there's just no idea. I mean, if you can't see the waveform and you don't know what key it's in, and you never learn to listen for what key it's in, and you don't know, even how to start it on the one, I've seen some DJs that just throw on the next track in the middle of the track without, any warning of what's going to happen next, and just, flip it over. And, it sounds okay, and no one really notices. I mean, most people don't notice unless you're a DJ or you're really into the scene. Most people just are drinking and having a good time, and they just know that the song changed, But, when it comes down to it, I think subconsciously people do know when people are doing the real thing and doing it the proper way.
Yeah, it's more of a respected art, and it's getting there even further. I'm not too sure if he's made it real big over here yet, but probably the best DJ set I've seen ever, because it was straight up old school turntables, and he was just ripping like what anyone could do on Serato or something like that, and far exceeding it on turntables. It was crazy. So this guy, his name's P Money. He's from New Zealand, and if you ever get a chance to check him out, his live show, it is sick. Definitely worth it.
Yeah. in the same vein, I saw a guy named Floating Points. He's friends with Fortet. You've heard of Fortet, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so Floating Points was definitely the most recent DJ that I saw. He played from open to close. There was no there's no opening DJ. He just played from 10 p.m. till 5 in the morning, and he did nothing final. And he went everywhere from old school R&B to, I mean, not old school, I mean like original, like 70s R&B into disco, then played some techno, then went back to house, and it was just a flawless mix.
That is a long ass time to be spinning vinyls. He would have had to have a lot of vinyl there.
He had like 3 trunks full.
Holy shit.
3 big trunks. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, his musical knowledge is, it's just encyclopedic, and that's what I respect. I've seen RJD2 do something similar, and that's just like years and years of work, and that's kind of why I'm not pushing Andrew Charles to come out next week. I don't necessarily need to do that when I've already put so much time into Snake Angel.
Yeah, and you're doing good too. Make sure we'll put his link to his page up on our page and share it. So make sure you go and like his page and get behind what he's doing and check out his track that's coming out. Is there anything you want to talk about before we take off?
No, not really. Just really want Geography to get into people's cars and people's systems, and I feel like once you listen to the song and you really listen to it, it touches a part of you that you didn't know existed, and that's kind of what the whole Snake Angel idea is about.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Hope everyone else did too. You gave some quality content. Do you want to just introduce the last song here?
All right.
Which is yours?
So coming up next is Snake Angel, Geography, original mix.
All right, thank you. This is LYLT Radio. Check out a Creamer Creative show on Thursday, same time, and we will see you next week. Support independent music.
Yeah.